Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Todd Standing. I'm the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with or eyewitness a Sasquatch. One of my tremendously successful expeditioners are here with me. It's James. He's my Adams Lake friend that's up in northern British Columbia, north of Kamloops. This is a spot where it's been such a tremendous, awesome learning experience. First of all, I guess I should say I'm not doing a live video because British Columbia, my home province in Canada, is in a major state of emergency. The highways are all shut down. I was going to Vancouver from Calgary, and there's no way for me to get there. It's the worst state of emergency in the history of my lifetime living in Western Canada. So it's a big deal. So I don't have internet and I don't have the ability to do a live show, but I'm going to do this video and put it up. So I just talk about the incredible Sasquatch that live here. We found a really amazing trackway. When was it? Spring of this year, 2021?
Spring, yeah, it would be April.
Yeah, so we found an amazing trackway from I would say a male, approximately what, 13-inch track, did we think? 14-inch track?
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah, it was probably an inch less than we're saying because it was a washout track, but it was in line. And I did I put a video up online about it?
I don't think you did. You know, we just took photos.
We just took photos, so we found definitive evidence of a Sasquatch with that trackway, which is amazing. And the evidence to substantiate that is, there's nobody out here. No people were out here. It was we had gotten up by what's that called, a two-wheeler, side-by-side?
Side-by-side.
A side-by-side. It was getting tough with a side-by-side. We found a track from what would have been a very large man walking in alignment, and then that very large man took off up off the road and into the bush.
Well, here's the interesting part I'll have to add, because on that particular day, because Todd does this full-time, we were just going to go have a little break and go out in the bush and enjoy it. And so we're coming up the mountain, and we couldn't go any further because of the snow depth, so we stopped because there was no snow.
Yeah.
Then it was where the sun hadn't hit, and that's where we saw the tracks.
Right.
And at first, you really questioned, and as soon as I seen those tracks, of course I'm not an expert by no means, but I seen that they are perfectly in line, and that signifies one thing to me. So anyway,
and it's interesting for him to say that too, because you think I'd be out here, oh, Bigfoot, and I was like, no, I didn't just come out here to hang out and chill and find real legitimate Sasquatch tracks in the snow, which is tremendously rare. I do this a lot and I don't see it very often, so it was pretty wonderful. And then the Sasquatch up here, what is outstanding about them is, as you can see, I'll just do a little pan here. This was logged. So if you look over there, you'll see a log pile. And what is absolutely astonishing and really important about us learning about the tree breaks and the signs that they leave behind busted trees is these Sasquatch knew the logging was coming. We didn't. So they were protesting badly. Like they were making breaks and bending trees and tearing up the terrain. And we were thinking, what the hell? Like we were saying, maybe it's a different style. I don't believe it was. I'm very convinced that they knew that the logging was coming, and that was them protesting the logging was coming. How do you feel about that?
Actually, if I can back that up in the time frame a little bit, I've been out in this area, living here for approximately 6 years, and just before I got to know Todd, and he told me what to look for tree breaks, and I had them within 200 yards of my back door, to be honest, and which I am. I don't know why I use that saying. It's kind of silly. But anyways,
I agree. Definitive 100.0%. Multiple impressive large tree breaks pointed towards the houses there.
Pointed towards my house. And the other thing is, so I started looking more in depth as to this area where we are now, up the mountain behind my place, and didn't really find any new tree breaks. You know, you can tell by as I was taught, how old the tree break may be within, probably 6 months, whether it's green or not, or how dark the wood looks. And I had seen nothing until the winter before this year. So it would have been 2020 winter, actually in the very same spot. Todd and I came up here, and there was a couple of fresh tree breaks. And then we realized that there was also flagging, and what the flagging meant was that there were flagging for the loggers to come up and do cut blocks. And that had started in the spring, or the previous winter, I should say.
Right. So, but clearly, I think we're both in agreement, and we both agreed that when we were in our investigation, the Sasquatch knew the logging was coming.
Yep.
And they were reacting to it, and that is immensely important to understand, guys. They know, and then looking at the aerial views of the area, it's just cut block after cut block, and they're sick of it. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, and I don't know if you want to touch on that, but what was unbelievable is because in the spring when we came up, we found those tracks in the snow. But then it was after that we came up again and seen repetitive tree breaks, like 3, 4 in a bunch.
Yeah.
I
Tree
don't know.
bends,
And
trees
bends.
snapped, uncleanly broken. They don't do that. They don't lose it like that. They went apeshit. I went into the bush and looked at it. I was like, what are these guys trying to say?
Like every 60 feet kind of thing.
They're losing it. Like, they're pissed. I've never seen anything like it. What does it matter? These guys are crazy. Then the logging came in. And you know what the logging did? If you look over at where this truck is, you see how it's cut in there? That's where the tree breaks were. In fact, you can see there's a couple that are left over up over here, but that's where they lost it. And now the evidence of it is gone. So, yeah, other than what I was able to film from it. But so anyways, really happy with this area. Are we doing research up here? Not really. We haven't really made a commitment. Do we know Sasquatch is up here? 100% there's Sasquatch up here. No doubt whatsoever. But we focus in radium because we're getting tremendous success there. James was out with me a couple times this year. What's happening, the evolution of my cooperation is these people are becoming friends as much as colleagues, and they're immensely important. And that's what I want. That's why I was doing expeditions. That's the trick, guys. That's the reality, is I want people to come back. That's who I was looking for. And I'm getting return expeditioners like crazy, people that are having their own journey, their own discovery process. I tutor them and give them that initial knowledge, and then they go off on their own and have because this is not Todd Standing, this is James Penner. And he has his own journey, his own life, and his own way to make success. And he's following his own path. He's doing his own things, and he's making mistakes just like I make mistakes, like we all do, and learning from them, right? So we had a wonderful year this year. I'm very excited about next year. The success this year was baby steps. They started taking apples, left us some structures. We heard some amazing calls, awesome tree breaks, lots of tracks. No amazing sightings, no new footage this year at all. Lots of weird things happening though, right? With the smoke and the animals. Didn't see much for bears.
No, it's affected everything. Animals big time. I know.
Right.
I'm not a hunter, but I know hunters, and they've said it's changed quite a bit.
There's a lot of, just in the ecology, there's been major changes with all the smoke, and it's been a crazy COVID year, and I don't know, but we're excited about next year. We've got some major changes happening. My life has just been flipped upside down, and now I'm back right side up, and I'm so excited about the new people, the new discoveries. And I've made a decision too that I'm going to say right now. Next year, I'm going to announce it right now. I'm fighting for footage next year. Do I carry a camera around?
No.
How am I going to get footage without a camera? Next year, that's changing. It's time to go back to work, because I just hung out with Jeff Meldrum in Mississippi, and one of the questions that we had is, why haven't we worked together in so long? Why hasn't he been out boots on the ground with me? And the answer is because I was waiting to get great footage, and I wanted to come investigate it. So I'll get the footage, and I'll get Jeff Meldrum out there, and I want him to investigate the hell out of it. I want him to look up and down, use that scientific mind of his, and really, because if it's footage, it's real footage for me, and then he'll substantiate it with the evidence. I have no fear of that. That's why I want him out there, is because everything he'll find is truth. But I haven't been able to get footage, and now we're coming for it. And I'm putting this out to all my cooperation, all the people the dozens of people that have been out with me. Let's put our heads together. And those of you who follow and have suggestions, I'd love to hear it. This is a cooperation, and your thoughts and your mind helps move this discovery forward, because this is about the discovery of Bigfoot. That's why my movie's called that. And next year, it's time to get that piece of footage. It's the 50th anniversary of that incredible piece of evidence called the Patterson-Gimlin film. And it's time for us to get to the next level and get a better piece of footage, investigate it, bring it forward, and make this discovery roll forward in an awesome, positive way. So I'm going to roll with that. Let's do it. Woo! Thanks for tuning in. I'll be live next Wednesday, as long as there's not another ecological disaster. So until then, take care. Put it on. Yeah, you look nothing like a Sasquatch.